Good morning, everyone! What is going on? How we doing this fine Wednesday morning? Welcome to Homebuilt Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live. We're live at Homebuilt Workshop, hanging out. I hope all of you are doing amazing this morning. Right on. Let's see. Let's make sure everything's working here. Looks like we got sound. Looks like we got video. I don't have a chat. I need a chat. Where's that chat? Come on. Come on. Let's pop out chat. There we go. So I can, it's hard to interact with you guys if I can't see it. Where did everything go? Oh, now I know there was just more. Top, live. There. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Okay. Now I know just a second ago I saw Sam in the chat. Are we like freezing up or something? I'm only seeing Drizzy Guitars. Oh, Sam says YouTube deleted it. How in the world did that happen? I know I just saw it a second ago. Anyway, what's up? How we doing? Drizzy Guitars? Bam. Good morning. And Terry's here. Terry says hello. Jester, what's good, everyone? What's going on? How we doing? How we doing this fine Wednesday? For some reason, I'm showing two chats. Maybe that's what's going on here. Why is there two? No, it's not. Never mind. We're good. We're good. just a newbie. That's all. How's everybody doing? How's it been? How have you been since we hung out last week? You'll notice. Boom, boom, boom. It's beanie time. I don't know if we had a cold front come in or what. Yesterday morning was 22 degrees. Sam, that's what? -5 Celsius? And this morning was like 18 degrees. So minus what? 7-ish? -7-ish? Something like that. So it sounds so much colder that way. But yes, I had to dig the beanie out. I didn't want to. I tried to put it off. I just couldn't. It's just, there's been a few days where I'll wear it for a little bit and then it warms up. But this morning, and yesterday too, it was pretty chilly. And I don't have any built-in insulation there to keep my head warm. So I had to add a little bit. Let's see here. Let's see. Obie Ken says, hello, Jeff. What's going on? Good morning. How we doing? Sam says, yikes. Time Servant says, beanie? Woolly face? Must be fall or autumn. Yes, it is. I do need to, this is getting a little out of control. I gotta get that trimmed up, but yeah, definitely a beanie. It's, yeah, we're in it now. We're in it. And I was talking to my daughter and I were talking yesterday how we're sort of surprised we haven't seen any, I don't want to say it, any snow flurries yet. Usually we see something in October, not always like an accumulating snow, but maybe some flurries. I haven't seen any yet, and we're at the end of the month, so we might not see them until November because it is supposed to be nice through this coming weekend. So, yeah, what's on me? So yeah, we might be out of the woods for snow for October. Definitely in the mountains. You can see up there on Pikes Peak and the mountains out there along the Front Range. There's snow. There's snow on the mountains. So we are getting there. K McCall 13013. I like it. Says, hey, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? What are we working on? What are we going to talk about today? Sort of projects are on your bench. Guitar projects or just any sort of general woodworking projects around the house. Any of that sort of thing. If you guys are new, anybody's new to the live streams, we don't typically have a set topic. It's sort of an open conversation where we just kind of talk about what we're working on. I'm going to talk a bit about what I'm working on and what I've been working on, kind of things that are coming down the pipeline and that sort of thing. But mainly, it's a place to ask questions. And it doesn't have to, as long as it's, it's sort of workshop related, that's about the only things. We're not going off topic, with any sort of weird random stuff. But yeah, open conversation. You got a question about a project or something you're working on or a good way to do a thing? That's what we're here for. It's just always a fun time. And it always seems like we end up going down some sort of a path. Someone may have a question about, I don't know, a particular guitar thing, and we will end up kind of going down that rabbit hole. Or maybe someone, will end up talking about 3D printing. Who knows what? It's always fun. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy about doing the live streams. I get to hang out with all of you. And, you just never know what the topic's going to be. So just keep it sort of workshop type related stuff, and we're good. So feel free to ask any questions. And also, it doesn't matter too if, if we happen to be talking about a certain thing, but maybe you've got a question about a different thing, throw it out there. It's not, there's no reason. I don't want you to not ask a question just because we're talking about something else. So feel free. Came a call. Oh, it says I'm Eco Woodcrafts. Okay, you threw me off there. What's going on? That makes sense. I understand now. But still. Robert says, howdy peoples. Hope everyone's doing well, staying safe and healthy. Robert, we're doing good. How are you doing? Obi Ken says, Pikes Peak, didn't know you were in Colorado. I'm in Westminster. Oh, right on. I haven't been to Westminster in a while, but yeah, I've definitely been up there. Yeah, I am. I'm in the Colorado Springs area, and yeah, we get to look right out there and see the snow on top of Pikes Peak. Yeah, so I'm just down the road. So hello, neighbor up the road. Paul's here. Paul, good morning. How are you doing? Paul says, built a Pi-hole ad blocking server for my home network. Raspberry Pi that works as a DNS server to block online ads. Working on the new bike, getting used to being older. Fell on hip on your birthday? Oh man. Paul, sorry to hear that. Hope you're all right. Hope you didn't get too banged up. That's never fun. But yeah, I've seen the pictures of the new one. It looks cool. I like it. I think you're going to enjoy that. Yeah, I've seen those ad blocking things, and I can install that on my TrueNAS server too, Pi-hole. I haven't, but I can. I need to do some work. Speaking of that server, I've kind of been neglecting it for the last, I don't know, month or two. My whole intention when I put that together was, of course, for backup. My main intention, because I kept running out of backup storage space. USB drives get full. So if you remember when I built that, I had two goals in mind for that. One was for backing up all of my documents and things. That's been working awesome. I've used about half of the storage space on there. And the other goal for that was a media server. Well, I've been slowly tinkering on that. I've got everything set up with Jellyfin and all that. And it's working great. And one thing that I want to do now is, I don't know why your comment made me think of this, Paul. I don't know why, but I got sidetracked. Squirrel. One thing that I want to do with the server is get it set up so that I can access it outside of my home network. So that means I got to set up a, what is that called? A reverse proxy, I think. I don't have the slightest clue how to do that, but I got to do a little bit of research. That's my next step, is to get that set up so that I can access the media server from outside of the network. I've got a domain name and everything that I want to use for it, but I got to understand how to configure it because I have no idea how to do that. I'm not a tech guru by any means. I do like the tech like that, but I do not know how to set that sort of stuff up. But that's gonna be my next project, and I also fully intended to give some sort of an update. At the time, I was going to do like a 6-month update, but I think we're past the 6-month update on that. So I think once I get that set up, maybe I'll just do a short video, just kind of a recap. How's the thing been working? And just kind of my thoughts on the whole thing. So yeah, you made me think about that, Paul. I don't know why, but it did. Let's see. Sam says 10 Celsius in the UK or 7-degree real feel. So that is 30, 50, 50. I'm looking at it backwards. It's 50. That's not so bad. We're supposed to be in the 50s or so today. So we're probably going to warm up to that. Paul says, got to get back in the workshop this weekend. Guitars to build, pens to make, and bowls to turn. Nice, Paul. Sounds like you've got quite the project list. I have, my project list is growing as well. We'll get to that shortly here. Let me catch up on some comments. I'll show you what I've been working on. But I bet you can't guess. Robert says, it's a bit chilly here today. 46 degrees, feels like 31. Earlier was 45, but felt like 19. We actually had 19. 18 or 19, I think, when I got up this morning. It was pretty cold. It was about 5:45 or so this morning, 20 to 6. Little frost on the pumpkins, as they say. So, have you guys ever heard that before? Hit that thumbs up button. Show of hands if you've heard that phrase before. I said that to a friend of mine years ago, and he's like, what? He'd never heard that before. Obi Ken says, love Colorado Springs. Right on. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Westminster, that's above Denver, correct? I get those areas mixed up. There used to be a club up there when I was playing live, or I was playing with my original band. We used to play at a club up there. I believe it was Westminster. Yeah, it was Westminster. We played up there quite a bit at a place. I'm sure that it's long gone. What was that place called? Whiskey Bill's? Did you ever familiar with that place? I don't remember exactly where it was, but I don't remember what road. Whatever exit you take off of the interstate. Maybe it's just the Westminster exit. And that main road, it was down there a ways. I think across the road was on the north side of the road. What was that up there? Like a Walmart or something like that. Interesting. But yeah, we used to go up there quite a bit. Paul says, a big bruise, but not cracked or chipped. Oh man, that's good. I am glad to hear that. Good deal. Paul says, if you do a pie hole, let me know. I can send you a list. Oh, I'll send you a list I have. Oh, is that like keywords or something that it watches or something along those lines? Robert says, real glad it was not worse, Paul. Yes, I think we all are. I want anybody to be cracking a hip or something. That's going to be me later. Sam says, perhaps visit Westminster in London in the UK. I see what you did there. Yeah. Paul says to Robert, me too, was working on something for the family. Or for the wifey. Put shoes on and slipped. Landed hip right on the concrete floor. Still pretty sore, but it's working. Man, ouch. Obi Ken says, yes, can see Pikes Peak from here too. Yeah, you got the other stuff to the north too. That's always really cool. It just looks, it's a whole different look. Last weekend before. No, it wasn't this past weekend. It was the weekend before. We spent a long weekend in the Alamosa area, if you've ever been there. Man, that was super cool. And there was a lot of snow caps down there, quite a few. Not the candy snow caps, like actual snow-capped mountains. Robert says, yeah, I've heard of that saying. Nice. There you go. Frost on the pumpkins. Paul says, I have Google Earth up. I can see Pikes Peak from there also. There you go. Yeah. Obi Ken says, sounds familiar. Probably off 36. Is that the one that connects right to the interstate? I honestly can't remember. It's like the main. Man, I wish I could remember. I could probably find it on a map, but is that the main Westminster exit? If so, that's probably it. I can't remember what was right around there, but there was some sort of a store on the other side. This place was on the south side of the road. Anyway. Paul says, no actual list of sites that do ads, uses the list to block the ads. Oh, gotcha. Time Servant says, is there still an auto race to Pikes Peak? Yes, there is. At the end of June every year, or somewhere around that last week of June. Yeah, they do the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. It is a huge event. Sadly enough, I have never attended it. I don't know why. Every year I say I want to go. I've never gone. I like to catch some of the recaps on TV and stuff. I have gone. They do like a big fan fest like that week before. That's super cool. I've gone to that a few times. Where they have some of the cars and they have like all kinds of cool stuff. You know, vendors, and it's just a huge kind of a party really downtown. They close off streets. It's super fun. But yeah, the hill climb's a big deal here. It really is. Obi Ken says Long's Peak is gorgeous up north. Long's Peak, I think that's the one. Yeah. Obi Ken says the Boulder Turnpike. Yes, that's the one. Okay, so that's probably the road. Time Servant says Frost on the Pumpkin. Are you calling someone gray-headed? No, but I could see that, right? Little frost on the pumpkin. No, I grew up with that as a term for, there's like a little frost outside in the morning. I don't know. I don't know why it's directed straight at pumpkins, but it is. Sam says you might like the Knipex, Nipex, Nipex. I don't know. There's like 50 different ways to say it. I don't know which one's correct. Multi-crimp tool has a separate wheel of jaws to lock into the tool body. That sounds cool. Crimpers, I might have to look into that. Thank you for the suggestion, Sam. So let's get to what the heck I've been working on. I've been working on dun 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 dun, cigar box guitars. You guys knew that. Or sort of the cigar box guitar. So I have, voila. I have this little cigar box neck, all shaped, all sanded, and finish applied. I got that finish applied. Actually, it's probably not even cured yet. Applied it last night. I can still feel it actually a little bit in a few spots. But, actually, what is that? Is that a spot where I touched it? I'm going to have to touch that up. Maybe one more coat. But I got the finish applied to the cigar box neck. Later today, we're going to slap this thing into the box and basically wrap up part number 4. I wasn't sure how far we were going to get on that episode, but I spent pretty much the entire episode shaping the neck, really, and just trying to cover things. Like I said, trying to, just get all the details in, trying to make this I don't know what you call it, a complete guide to building a cigar box guitar, something along those lines. I don't know. So this episode is almost all edited. I've been editing, apply a coat of finish, do some more editing, because you got to do 2 to 4 hours between this finish. So I've got the video almost edited. I just need to wrap up a little bit of some talking points and things, and we'll have episode 4 done. Scheduled. Well, it's not scheduled yet, but the plan is to have that out this weekend. And then probably episode 5. I'm thinking I should be able to finish it up because there's really not much left to do. Some measurements, install the bridge, the electronics. I don't think it's going to be all that bad. Yeah, making good progress. Definitely one of the more satisfying parts, although it's a lot of work, even on a small neck like this, just trying to get it where it's smooth and comfortable, and then all this dang sanding. But it's coming along good. I really like how that spalted maple heel cap looks. Almost looks kind of like flames or something. It's kind of cool. I'm almost thinking maybe I should have put it the other way, because that looks more like flames to me. I should have turned it, but it's fine. Too late now. But yeah, looks super cool. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait to get this one done. I've also not been spending, I mentioned the multi-scale build that I want to do. I haven't done as much, I haven't spent as much design time on that as I wanted to this past week. But I'm going to get back to that, and I need to start making some test cuts on the CNC machine, because I am going to use the CNC machine. I know, sorry, for that build. But I I've got some work to do on the CNC machine. That's also going to be another, that's going to be a project video that I'm going to make. Mainly a while back, I'll catch up to comments here in just a minute. A while back, well, let me jump way back. When I bought my CNC, and I apologize if you're not into CNC machines, but it's part of my shop, so I gotta throw it in there. When I bought mine, I bought it with the router mount, right? So it just takes a regular router, 65 millimeter router mount. Well, last fall, like around Black Friday, I had purchased a spindle upgrade kit, right? So instead of using a router, it actually uses a motor made for CNC machine, CNC type work. But I've not installed it yet. It's been almost a year, and I've got to send a couple of those parts back to Onefinity. So I've got to get that installed. I just got some parts from them. There was a couple pieces I was actually missing. I didn't realize, it's a long story anyway. But I just got some parts in that I've got to swap out and then send them the old parts back. You get like an exchange kind of credit thing for it. So I'm running out of time on that. I just got these parts Monday. I got the parts Monday, plus the CNC spindle kit that I bought a year ago. I've got 30 days, and I have to have the old parts sent back to them. So I've got to get after this. Basically, that's a long way of me saying I need to do the conversion to the spindle. I was initially going to do it off camera, but I think I'm just going to do a video because it would be helpful maybe for somebody, maybe not for everyone. And the video probably will do terribly, but maybe not. It'll be helpful, I think, for those that are going to be upgrading their machine. But I think I'll make a video. I've got to get after that so I can send these parts back. Then I'll start with the test cuts on this new guitar that I want to start building. Time Servant says, not much frost in my neck of the woods. yeah. I mean, I hope not. Sam with the thumbs up. Bam. Harry Dude's here. Harry Dude says, what's up? Sorry I'm late. Can't promise it won't happen again. Harry Dude, no worries. No worries. It's all good. No need to apologize. You made it. That's all that matters. And how's it going down there? Down there? How's everything in Australia? I wasn't trying to do the down there or down under sort of thing. That wasn't my intention. How's Australia? How's everybody doing over there? Paul says, my brother just relocated to Cripple Creek. That's not too far from you. Cripple Creek is super cool. It's very commercial now with the casinos and everything, but it's still a super cool town, and the drive up there is awesome. I love the drive. He's probably done it, maybe. There's a drive. So normally to go to Cripple Creek, you go up Highway 24 up into Woodland Park, and then you take whatever that road is out of Divide into Cripple Creek. Is that 67 or something? I don't know. I'm bad with road names. But if you continue on through Cripple Creek, and maybe ask your brother about this. Brother? Yeah, brother. You go through Cripple Creek into Victor. There's a road that goes from Victor down into Canyon City. It's called, oh no, I forgot the name. Phantom Canyon. I love that drive from Phantom Canyon. We usually will go down into Cripple Creek, and then, well, it's dirt road for like 20 miles or something like that. Comes up out of Canyon City. I think I said that wrong. Drive down to Canyon City, and then you take Phantom Canyon, which pops you out into Victor, which then takes you to Cripple Creek. But it's a whole loop. But I love that loop, and several times we'll take that drive partway up Phantom Canyon, and there's like public campsites. They're not like, I don't know, they're just spots where you can stop and camp. We've done that I don't know how many times. You just find one that's not taken, set up camp, spend the day. There's a stream that runs down through there. It is an awesome drive, and totally worth the, I don't know, even if you're not camping, it takes probably, I don't know, a couple hour drive to wind up through there. There's some sightseeing stuff you can see where they talk about some of the narrow gauge railroad that went up there, supplying the gold or hauling the gold and all the minerals and things that were mined up that way. Super awesome. One of my favorite drives that's not really even, It's not all that far away, but it is awesome. I don't know why. It's my favorite. So maybe ask your brother about that drive, the Phantom Canyon. Tell him if he hasn't done it, he needs to do it. I think I've gone the opposite way only once. Usually I start at the bottom and work my way up, because then you come into Cripple Creek, and if you go down, if you hit it in the morning, right, and so you make the drive up through, you can get into Victor, Cripple Creek, Woodland Park, like early to mid afternoon, and then you stop in Woodland Park and you get one of those giant donuts at the donut mill. Yeah. But anyway, super cool drive, and if he hasn't ever done it, I would highly recommend it. Might even be cool this time of year. Actually, I'm sure it is. It's cool every time of year, but definitely I like it in the summer when you can stop and go splash in the creek or whatever. It's fun. Let's see. Robert says, my sister just called me to say she had to go to the courthouse today and finish up the legal stuff for my uncle's estate. It's finally all finished and final after almost 5 years. Wow, 5 years, Robert? I'm glad you're getting it worked out, though. That's crazy that it takes that long. Wow. Yeah, that's nuts. Huh. Wow. Seems like stuff like that shouldn't take that long, but I don't know the process. Robert says, time surfing, thanks. The bulk of the hassles were handled by my sister. Oh yeah, time surfing is happy for you. It's almost over. Yeah. But no matter who handles it, though, it shouldn't take 5 years to wrap up someone's estate. That's just crazy. Sam says, Bloom Heat electric heater ads on YouTube are overwhelmingly reported as scams. Interesting. Numerous complaints from customers and consumer advocates, highly deceptive marketing, misleading claims. It's a scam. Sounds like one to me. Stay away from it. Sam says, I get so many of those ads. Paul says he's working for Century Casino. Oh, cool. Paul says, we're planning on a visit in spring. I'll give you a yell if we do. Paul, you better. Seriously, if you are in Cripple Creek, we'll drive to Cripple Creek. It's not that far. So you absolutely need to. Even if you're not down this way, but you just go into Cripple Creek, we'll drive up and we'll spend 25 cents at the casino. Probably can't even do that anymore. Time Servant says, Cripple Creek, good song. It is. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a run. Maybe that's a different song, but that's Cripple Creek too. Up on Cripple Creek. There's a couple different songs called that I can think of. Sam says, you can make a custom generator trailer for emergency power. What's the point in having an awesome workshop but have no power to power up the equipment within? That is true. That would be kind of cool. Again, I have thought, I think I mentioned this before. I have done the measurements. And if I bought a big car, like a car trailer, bumper pull kind of car trailer, I would have more room in that than I do here. It's kind of tempting. You buy like a, 28 foot or something enclosed, like a race car kind of trailer. I'd have more room than I have in the actual shop. And then you build it with the generator and stuff in there. I don't have a vehicle sturdy enough to pull something that big, but you'd have it on wheels and it wouldn't really matter. I don't move it now, so that would just be a fun build. Your entire shop is built inside a car trailer. That'd be awesome. Robert says, Colt Builds It channel has posted some different videos of trails in Colorado. Has shown some pretty country. Colt Builds It. I feel like I've seen some of them. Was it Colt Builds It? There's some cool stuff. Some super cool stuff. Especially if you're into the off-road. You're in the off-roading. You got like an overlanding rig or some sort of a off-road trail vehicle. Mine's not really made for that. I get like super light stuff, but you can really access some awesome spots. But even like I mentioned earlier, last 2 weeks ago, when we were in the Alamosa area and the San Luis Valley, man, that was super cool. We weren't even like off-road or back country or anything like that, but it's just an area that I hadn't really spent much time, and it was really nice just to, kind of see more of what's around there and travel some of the, the more rural roads and stuff like that. It was super cool. Sam says maybe make wooden fairground horses for merry-go-rounds. That would be cool. That would be cool. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I mean, obviously it can happen because people make them, but the really cool merry-go-rounds, carousels, there's one here in Colorado that I'm aware of, that it's an old original one. I can't give you information without looking it up, like dates and things. But there's one in Burlington, Colorado. It's out towards the Kansas border. Burlington's super cool farming town, and they have an old original merry-go-round out there, carousel, that has like the hand carved old horses. And if I remember correctly, it's built in sort of a kind of a grain silo style building. And if I remember correctly, I think it might have been during World War II. Did I read that when it was out there? Or last time we were there, which has been several years. But to protect it during the war, I could be wrong on this, so take it with maybe do your own research, I guess is what I'm saying. But I think I remember it saying they filled it with corn, right? Like a corn bin, to sort of protect it, which I thought was kind of cool. And then of course when the war, was over with, emptied it out and redid whatever they need to, and it's still in operation, and it's super cool. There's also one in there's an old one at in Elmira, New York that I know of, which is not far from where I'm from. And at Eldridge Park in Elmira, New York, it's one of the old antique ones. I feel like at one point they sold some of the park was closing down and not doing well, and they sold some of the original horses from there. But I feel like they got some of them back, along with some remanufactured ones, I think. I could be wrong on that too, but that's two original ones mostly original ones that I know of. But yeah, speaking of merry-go-rounds, but yeah, you could probably do something on like a CNC carousel horses would be pretty cool. Sam says, American DJ, I guess that means ADJ, have footer screens and stands that connect to a computer. Footer screens. What does that do? Footer screens. Does it like sit on the floor? I don't know. I need more information on that, Sam. I'm not sure about that. Hey, dude, I'm considering buying an enclosed trailer for storage for the workshop overflow. I'm renting, so I don't want to build a shed and leave it behind. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you buy a big enough trailer, then just make your shop in there. Then you don't have to like set up new shop somewhere. I think that'd be awesome. You'd have to really consider how you're going to secure everything, but I think it'd be cool because you can get, I think, I know you can get an enclosed trailer that is as wide as my shop, and my shop is technically longer than that, but I've got some household storage. I've got random, stuff stored in here, just the shop space. If I got a 20, I don't know what they are, 28 foot or something like that, I'd have more space than I have here to set up everything. And that'd be pretty awesome. I think it'd be cool. Then if you move, you just hook it up and away you go. Robert says, my cousin's brother-in-law built out one of those shed kits, wired it, everything. All he had to do was get power, was to plug it in. Oh, he had it on skids, so it could be loaded on a flatbed. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Let's see. Tony's here. Tony says, morning, sunshine. Good morning, Tony. What's going on? How are you doing? What are you working on this fine Wednesday morning? Sam says, stands on the ground with the base screens that can be interconnected to more screens to make a larger screen. Footer screen can be used on their own. Great idea for the market advertising. Oh, does it build like a screen wall? Is that what you're talking about? You can link them together. I think something here would be cool. Like, I like this old weathered sign. It is, of course, sort of become the background, right, for a lot of my stuff. But a big screen of some sort there would be kind of cool too. It just wouldn't have the same it wouldn't have the same feel, I don't think. But I thought about that. I'm like, what if I put it, If I got the largest TV I could put there, then like it could have basically that same picture. Because this poor sign, I just noticed, look at the P. It's falling out of there. This poor thing. It's been here. I mean, it's been here, the backdrop, for almost all of my videos. Not quite, but most of them. And I do like it. But it might be cool to have just mount a big TV there. I don't know. Might lose some of the feel. Sam says yes, like for building screen walls. Yeah, that might be kind of neat. I don't know what size TV would fit there. 46. I don't know. Oh, Sam says the screens are big, not small. Oh, gotcha. Okay, Sam. Yeah, I'm just not familiar with it. But yeah, I know what you mean. They're just not small. Yeah, I'm with you. Just not a product I'm familiar with. I'd have to look it up and see. So, Harry Dude, I got a question for you. I mentioned my CNC machine earlier and some stuff that I got to do to it. Have you had a chance to dig into yours yet? The machine you picked up. Have you fired it up yet? Have you done any test cuts, anything like that? We need updates. Part of the reason, as far as the CNC machine goes, part of the reason that I've been a little bit hesitant is because I know not everybody's interested in a CNC machine, and I totally get that. Every time I do something CNC, you always get the comment, oh, CNC, oh. You guys know the argument. I'm all for it. It's just another tool in the tool belt. But yeah, that's what's kind of been putting me off to making a video about it. But I think I'm going to do a video on this upgrade, just like I said, to help people that are also upgrading their machines. It's kind of the wave of the future, even though it's not really that new. But imagine, when the first table saws came out. That's what I think of. How many people went, ugh, I'm going to keep using my handsaw. I can't use that table saw. Or, the first router came out. Oh, I can't use that. I've got to use my router plane, which is right there, hanging on the wall, an old school router plane. Like, I got to keep using that. I can't use a regular powered router. Yeah, it's just another thing. Another tool to do a job. Let's see here. So, yes, so the cigar box guitar, working on that. I gotta get that CNC machine up and running. I've got to get back to modeling the new model of the Dorian, that multi-scale version. I'm excited about that. I still am. Like I said, even though I haven't been working much on it, I can't wait to get that thing back in the works. And then that'll probably take us into, I got at least one more week probably on this, which seems crazy, the cigar box build. Like, it shouldn't take me 4 or 5 weeks to build a cigar box guitar, but trying to film everything and edit everything and all that, it just takes up a bunch of time. So I got at least one more episode on that. And then I'm not sure. Some other stuff that I want to get to. I gotta figure out how I want the cards to fall in order. Hair Dude says, I have yet to have time to make a cut, but I have it moving under mobile phone control. Oh, wow. And using Maj on the PC. Don't have space in the workshop yet to give it a home. Too many PA speakers to fix. That's cool. So you can control it with your phone. That's kind of cool. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I can too. I bet you I can. Mine has a thing. It's not a separate app. You basically, once my machine connects to the Wi-Fi, or if you have it plugged in, and you're on the network, then you can go to the IP address, open it up in your browser, and you can control it from there. That's what I do a lot. Because I have the machine out here, But if I'm doing a bunch of work or I need to make edits, I can bring it up inside from my computer inside, and I can delete files or upload new files and all that sort of thing right there, so I don't have to go back and forth, which you can, with a USB stick, and I did that at first, but it's a lot easier to be able to connect it to the internet, or to your network, I should say. But yeah, that's cool. You got it. At least you got it running, and you've kind of messed around with it a little bit. Sam says to YouTube, stop deleting my comments with your affiliated site. It's your parent company. Yeah, I don't understand why that's happening, Sam. I've not. Well, I don't know. I have no explanation. I'm just going to put it that way. And I'm sorry that's happening. My apologies, Sam. All right. Sorry, something was popping up there. I don't care about sports headlines. Why is it popping up on here? I don't even have any apps or anything installed. Oh, it's some sort of like a news flyout thing? I don't know. Anyway, moving right along. There. No more pop-ups. Let's see. So, hey, dude, what is on your workbench? You said are you fixing PA speakers? I'm guessing by the by your comment there. Do you have to replace like speakers or amps burned out or what? Sam says it's YouTube's AI algorithm. Robert says, in my opinion, CNC just a different type of tool. Still takes skill to make it work correctly. In most cases, even more skills than other tools to get it right. You're right, Robert, and that's the way I see it. Right? It's just a tool. I don't know why it's such a polarizing tool. I think people still misunderstand what goes into making something like that work. I still think a lot of people feel that it does all the work for you. You just, say, what do you type in build me a guitar and you hit start? You know what I'm saying? But it's not at all what happens, right? It's like a table saw. You don't just say, oh, cut this board in half. It doesn't work that way. You still got to set the saw up. You still got to run the board through there. Yeah. I know you all understand it that way, but I really truly don't understand why it is such a polarizing topic. People are either all for it or all against it. It just doesn't. I've not found somebody that's like, whatever, I'm sure there's people out there, but it's like they either are anti CNC or they're pro CNC, and yeah, it's just a tool. Just a tool. You have to build the file, right? Or you have to have the file. It's like 3D printing. You can't just type in and say, print a thing. It doesn't work that way. I mean, now maybe with AI, right? Maybe someday. But I've tried some of that stuff, where AI says it can generate a file. It can't. It can't do that. I don't know if it's, maybe it's whatever thing I've used, because I refuse to pay for any of those things. I just won't. But I've tried, and it says, yeah, we can generate a file, and then later on it says, oh, sorry, I can't generate a file like that, but I can explain it to you in great detail. Well, that doesn't help me. It's like, it's the same thing for CNC is basically what I'm saying, right? And you guys, like I said, that, but I'm venting now. You got to have the file, whether you're 3D printing or whether you're CNC machining. You have to have a file, a model to be able to work from. And it just doesn't, you don't just type it in and have it spit out whatever you want. And then, like you said, Robert, it takes more skill to set it up correctly. Oh, it takes a whole separate set of skills to be able to design something in 3D with whatever software you're deciding to use. There's a bunch of different 3D design software. So you got to learn how to use that efficiently to design something accurately. Then you got to learn all of the machine. Like there's a lot. There's a lot. Is it more work initially than just cutting something on the table saw? Yeah, it is. But I think it's worth it, and it's just an advancement in technology, right? Like everything else. Hair Dude says, been spending time learning Mill Mage with an M. Okay, made by Lightburn. Oh, you mentioned that, made by Lightburn, and I was going to check that out, and I forgot all about it. You know what? To remind me, I'm going to open that up. Did you see that? That's why you probably noticed. I got glasses that I wear occasionally. You probably see them more and more in some of the videos. I'm going to open that up in another tab. Mill Mage. Well, yeah, look at that Lightburn. I got to check that out. So I'm going to leave that there. That's how I kind of do things. I always have like 500 tabs open. My daughter's like, Dad, what in the world? Why do you have 116 tabs open? That's how I keep track of stuff. Yeah, I got to check that out and see what it's all about. Sam says, can a CNN, I think you mean CNC, machine be programmed to wash the dishes? The right kind of machine could, right? What if it's a robot arm? You know, those robot arms that they have like in factories that does things? You probably could somehow. Sam, yeah, CNC, I got you. Robert says, learning the software to drive a CNC takes time to learn. Even Ben from Crimson Guitars, who said he would never use a CNC, but now has several. Exactly, right? I think everybody realizes like there's advantages to it. And if you don't want to use it to build a guitar, then don't use it to build a guitar. But I guarantee you, if you build with templates, unless you made them yourself, that your template is either made with a laser or a CNC machine. Most likely, in every case. Like I said, the homemade ones, of course, not. But, yeah. But even that, though, right? You want to make a new design, you draw it up, you cut out the template, which is even easier, actually, because you're not 3D cutting anything. And you cut out all the templates on your CNC machine, and now you can use that to hand build your guitar. Harry Dude says, I'm outside right now, fixing a lighting desk, almost done for the night. Got 8 big PA speakers, passive and active, in the home workshop, taking up the space. Tomorrow's mission? To swear at them. Well, Harry Dude, I hope they go smoothly. So you're fixing a light controller? Is that what I'm understanding? Sam says, why was autocorrect created? To annoy people? Yes, that's exactly why, because that's all it does. I hate it. Time surfing. My avatar is AI generated. Took almost an hour of refining my prompts. Yeah, see? So listen to this. I was trying to create a custom font, right? I thought there was a particular project that I was working on a couple of days ago. I'm still sort of working on it, but I've kind of given up on it for at least for the day. And I had to modify some text. And I thought, you know what? It might be kind of cool if maybe I could use AI to create a whole font, the font, like then I could just install it and it had, the modifications already there, everything. So I start going back and forth with the prompts, and yeah, it says I can generate those, and I uploaded a sample of, my fonts, and I said, can you extract all of the fonts and make it stylized after this, blah, blah, blah. Yep, I can do that. We'll create the whole thing. Do you want the punctuation? And basically it had all of the stuff. And it was asking all of the questions, which told me that it can do this. So then it comes down to, I'm like, okay, generate, give me the font, and then it says, oh, well, I can't give you a ready to install font, but I can give you all of the glyphs or whatever it's called that you can run in FontForge to assemble your own font. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do that, but that's fine, whatever. Give me all of the generated fonts based on the ones that I uploaded for you. And then it said, oh, well, I can't actually generate. This is literally after 2 days, right? Because I don't pay for it, so I run out of responses after a while. So then I have to wait, 6 hours or whatever, and it says, oh, your responses will reset in so many hours. Literally 2 days of back and forth, and it says, oh, I can't generate the SVGs or whatever, for Font Forge. I can't do that. I'm like, why did you just waste my time for literally 2 days on and off, of course, but telling me you could do this, but then you can't. AI is also always telling me, well, would you like me to send you a link for that? Because I like to mess with the live ones. And it can't. The live ones can't send you links. The live ones can't do anything other than talk to you. Yeah, it's just so weird. It's frustrating. Like I even told it, I'm like, I'm not at all worried about AI taking over the world because it can't even think straight. Sam! Look at that. Bam! Super chat, Sam. Sam says, towards coffee. Sam, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We got to keep this thing charged up. Robert says, checking the thumbs up is good. Oh. Click it. Good for you. Click it. Click it. Click that thumbs up button. Tells the algorithms. I hate the algorithms. The algorithms are a changing too. That's for sure. And while we're there, I just want to say, if you guys enjoy any of these videos, I would so appreciate share it, all that sort of thing. I know you already hit the thumbs up and all that sort of thing, but if you could share the videos, help spread the word. It seems like YouTube is like in a weird spot right now. I don't know what's going on, but share the videos. I'd appreciate it. Time Servant says the dishwasher was invented a few decades ago. Yeah, it was. It's been around for a long time. Sam said you need a UV polish curing machine for the workshop. If I used UV polish, absolutely. Actually, we all have our very own UV polish or UV finish curing machine. All I gotta do is step outside. Maybe not you, Sam. It's probably cloudy because I imagine it's always cloudy in the UK. But when the sun's out, you've got a UV curing station. Let's see. Mike says, oh, Mike's working on a Halloween light show. Very cool. Very cool, Mike. Did I miss your morning comment earlier? If I did, I apologize. If I didn't, then I just forgot. Right on, Mike. So you're all done with the stones, it looks like, right? Haven't seen any updates on that. That's awesome. Paul says, I would like a CNC as I get older to maybe keep up with the workload instead of spending the weekends 8 to 10 hours a day working on stuff in the shop. Plus, could do special stuff, engravings. Yes, you could. Yep. Just getting everything programmed. Yeah, there's like all kinds of uses for it. Harry Dude says, yes, a DMX lighting controller. Sam says, Harry Dude, American DJ is auto power selection. Probably no other brands with the same power auto selection. Paul says, while trying to use AI, I see Sarah Connor giving you the evil eye in the background. Who's Sarah Connor? Forgive my ignorance. Sarah Connor, I don't know who that is. Probably getting the evil eye from somebody for that too. Sam says, I would hype the video, but there's no button. That's what I don't understand. Why? Why do I not have a hype? I don't have my own hype. I don't get it. Everybody else has a hype. Do I get a hype? No. That's what I'm saying. The algorithms are very strange. It's like, it almost feels like, I don't even know if I should say it because YouTube will probably make it even more so. It feels like that mine are falling out of the algorithm. That's honestly what it feels like for the last few weeks, well, maybe the last 2 months. I don't understand. I don't know. Anybody's got any insight on that? I'd love to hear it. Harry Dude says, we don't get much American DJ stuff here in Australia. Saw some DJ lighting effects many years ago. but rare. Sam says, we do get sunshine, Jeff. Not as much as America. I know, Sam, but you know, you just hear about, like, it's kind of like like I hear about the Pacific Northwest. Everybody says Pacific Northwest is always rainy and cloudy, you know, like that Seattle and all that stuff. I don't know. It's probably just fine. It just has a bad rap. Kind of like England, I would imagine. Because I've seen pictures from England and I've seen sun. So Time Servant says Terminator. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. My camera, if I look at it just right, it looks like it has two eyes. So maybe it's spying on me. Obi Ken said, Jeff, are you planning to use a real cigar box with your neck, or would you build a custom box? We are using a real cigar box right here. The box is pretty much ready to go. The only other thing that I'm going to need to do is I got to drill a couple holes down here so that I can mount a volume and a tone control. But other than that, actually, let's put that in there. Why not? Why not? Right there. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, so then I got a bridge. This isn't the exact bridge, but I have one just like this, but it's gold. It's going to go right about there. And then a pickup will go up here. I got to drill a hole through for the wire and a couple holes here for volume and tone. But yeah, real cigar box. I don't know if I personally, no, I can't get that out of there. If I personally would build a box to house something like this, to me I like the challenge. I guess you could say the challenge of using a cigar box, because they seem to be all different. Every single one of these I've probably done, I don't know, a dozen cigar box guitars. They're all different in construction in some way. You know, they're thicker, they're thinner. This one I sat on for a long time because the box is so slim. That was the challenge for this one. You know, there's different construction inside, different, you know, just all different stuff. Each one you have to think about a little bit different and figure out how you're going to move forward. And that's the thing that I like about building a cigar box guitar, is that sort of varied challenge, where if I'm building if I just build the box, then I can build the box the same every single time. I can make the neck the same every single time. And while that would make it easier, it removes an aspect of a cigar box guitar build that I really like. I like having to think about each one a little bit different. That's also why I don't really batch them out. I did a batch of 3 one time, and that was kind of tricky because I had to do 3 separate builds. It's not like I was doing 3 of the exact same thing. I was basically trying to do 3 of the exact same thing, but each of the boxes was different. So I'd work on one box, gluing in the pieces, and then I'd basically have to shut the switch off, turn on the switch for the next one, get all the things, you know what I mean? It wasn't just bam, 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 cut the exact same stuff. So after that, I don't batch them out anymore. Like I said, I tried that 3 at a time one time, and that was tricky. So I just go one at a time now. I like the challenge of each individual cigar box. Yeah, it's just my preference. If you wanted to build a bunch of them, that would be totally cool. Yeah. Wow. I got to catch up here. I got behind. So, Obi Ken, I hope that answers your question. Time Serpent says Sarah Connor, main character in the Terminator. Harry Dude says, yes, I'm giving you the evil eye for not knowing who Sarah Connor is. You know how long it's been since I've seen Terminator? When did it come out? Like 88 or something like that? It's probably been since 90 since I've seen it. But now I'm going to have to watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it, I guess, because yeah, it's been a long time. So my apologies to everyone. I gotta watch the Terminator. What is that rated? I might have to. That's I don't think that was too bad, was it? Have to introduce that to my daughter so she can also know who Sarah Connor is. Obi Ken says Sarah Connor is the mother of John Connor, who defeats the robots in the future of the Terminator movies. Boom, boom, boom. Sam says, Jeff, you aren't the only person to think that. Others think YouTube is against them too. Yeah, honestly, Sam, the last few months, I've really been feeling that. I don't know why. Um, I try not to. I don't spend a whole lot of time looking at analytics. Trying to, I don't spend time comparing to other channels or anything like that. I don't have time for that. But um, I don't know how to say that without. Well, but what I've noticed, okay, is a decent decrease in ad revenue, right? Oh, just to throw that out there, like ad revenue is not. It's it's definitely taken a hit for some reason. Um, I haven't noticed a big dip in a lot of other things, but that specifically is what I'm seeing. And I don't know if it's because, people are sick and tired of the ads, which I mean, I get. I don't know why, but it just seems to your point, Sam, like I don't have a hype. Why do I not have a hype? I don't know. That's just what it feels like. It's not something I bring up very often, but definitely the last couple of months, it's kind of been on my mind a little bit. And I kind of have been looking at things a little bit different um, for the future. I don't know what that means exactly at the moment, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Robert says, I've looked into both my phone and on the computer for the hype button. I can't find it anywhere. Yeah, I can't either. I don't understand. Why did I not get the hype button? I don't know. I see other channels calling it out, and I go to their channel and I look, and sure enough, on the phone, bam, it's right there. Do I get one? Nope. I don't know why. It's not like you turn it on. There's no setting. I've looked. So I don't know what's going on. Something's definitely up, and I don't know what it is. Obi Ken says, I like the red. Me too. That's why I've had this box probably for 2 or 3 years, and I really liked it. But it's so thin, and that like it's barely over. I don't know. It's an inch, a little over an inch, and there's a construction method that I normally would do. I had to do. I basically was able to do kind of a similar concept, but everything is so much thinner. But yeah, that's what I liked about it. Red is like my favorite color. And if I didn't already have a couple of cigar box guitars of my own, I would have built this as a lefty and I would have kept it myself. But I'm not. We're building it out. It's going to go up for sale on the Haley Guitars website, and hopefully someone will own it. Mike says, still 10 plus pavers to cut. Grass has sprung up, but not as dense as I wanted. Kidney stones seem to not have cleared. Oh no. Music stuff has taken a toll for 2 weeks. And the Pacific Northwest is clear, sunny, and cold. Right on. Well, not good on the kidney stones, Mike. We got to get that cleared up for you. And the grass, really? I mean, that should come in better in the spring, wouldn't it? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've planted grass seed in the fall, but I would say as long as it's come up, maybe you overseed it in the spring again, right? To catch any spots. I don't know. I'm not a landscaper, but sounds like a good idea. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I know you get sun up there and you get nice days. It's just everybody says, "Oh, it's always rainy." Sam says it'd be cool to see you custom build food shaped electric guitars, such as a hot dog guitar or a banana guitar. Time Surfing says a hamburger banjo. Now that I'd like that. I'd like a banjo. It looks like a hamburger. Uh, Sam says a taco harmonica. A fish bass or a bass bass. Pizza. Oh, that's funny. You guys are cracking me up. So here's something funny. I don't remember what I was doing a while back messing with AI, and it could not get the pronunciation of a bass guitar and a bass fish. It couldn't get that straight. It would say, a bass guitar and a bass fish, or it would say a bass fish and a bass guitar. It just couldn't. It couldn't understand that. Mike says, my cigar box like that, I decided to place a mahogany interior spacer to widen the thickness of the box. Worked great. That's basically to widen, mahogany interior to widen the thickness. Interior spacer. I did, the thickness. I got you. I basically did the same, I think, if I'm understanding you, right? So this is mahogany, actually. That I glued in strips. Usually that's what I would do on other builds. I would glue in a spacer to put the neck where it needs to be. This one I just had to do, it's like 1/4 of an inch. Might even be a little less than 1/4 of an inch. But just to give some more structure, right? Because I am connecting mine using regular neck grommets. So when you tighten that down, the actual back is not thick enough to really hold anything. So you've got to have some sort of a spacer there to give, the grommet's got to have something to set into, but you can't just rely on the back. At least I wouldn't. Maybe you could because it's not super high tension. Most of the tension is going to be translated to the neck, but still, I don't like to take the chance, and it makes the box a little more rigid. Time Servant says, could make it from basswood. So here you go. So you make a bass guitar out of basswood in the shape of a bass fish. It's a bass, a bass, bass. I've got some basswood. No, or is that alder? I think that's alder actually. But yeah, that would be funny. A basswood bass guitar in the shape of a bass. Paul says, gotta go. Have a great week, everyone. Right on, Paul. You have a great week, too. Hope you get some time to spend out there in the shop, working on some projects, having a good time. Get that hip healed up. Sam, is it analytics or the analytics? Time Servant says number 2. Sam says, later I'm going to have jumbo pork sausages with curry sauce dip from the Chinese restaurant down the road. Don't knock it until you try. I am not knocking it whatsoever, Sam. It sounds awesome. Sausage, and I love curry. Probably different curry, but still curry nonetheless. I am not knocking it whatsoever. Time Servant says, I let native grasses and wildflowers take over my yard. I had 2 sets of doves nest and hatch in my backyard this year. That's cool. Patrick Maloney says, hey, Jeff, greetings from the UK. Right on. UK represent. What's up, Patrick? Right on. How you doing? What are you working on today? Robert says, I wonder if the hype button is matched to only channels that have a certain amount of subscriptions. Did not seem to say when it was announced. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. If anybody comes across any information, I would love to know because I can't understand it. Maybe I should contact like YouTube or something. They'd probably tell me to pound sand. Mike says, nope. I increased the edge by 1/2 inch using mahogany. Oh, staying the same. Oh, so you made it. Oh, I gotcha. Gotcha. Patrick says, just want to say I recently found your channel when looking into building a base. Nah, not the fish. And it's brilliant. I too am lumbered with a tiny workshop. Right on. Well, thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. And you know what? Don't let that tiny workshop discourage you. I'm not saying that was the case, but yes, there's a few things that I wish I could do in this workshop that I just quite can't. But overall, you can make things work. You don't need a giant space. Would it be cool? Yeah, it'd be awesome. But this one works just fine. Time Servant says, I don't think you can hype live streams. Correct. But you should be able to go to a regular video on a mobile phone or tablet, maybe. I don't know. But at least on a phone, you should be able to scroll down to the comments, see the little dots over there, swipe to the left, and show the hype button. My videos don't have that. At least not that I have ever seen. Patrick says, I'm supposed to be testing software, but you're testing chat software. Yeah, that's it. That's awesome. So Patrick, do you have everything worked out for the base? Are you working on it? Are you planning to work on it? Sam says you could make a wide teardrop trailer for your daughter and her friends to camp in during the summer holidays. They're pretty cool. They are cool, those teardrops, and that would be fun. She'd probably enjoy that. So, yeah, that's about where we're at. I think I'm going to have to get to wrapping this up. I got to get another coat of finish on this neck and get back to doing some editing, get this thing done. Well, this episode done. So I think this is about a good time to wrap up today's weekly Wednesday live. Robert says, yes, that's true. Oh, to Time Surfing. But I've also looked on the regular videos and it's not there. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand. It's really strange. Are they targeting? Am I targeted? No. Now I will be because I said that out loud. Anyway, Sam says, thanks for the fantastic stream today, Jeff. Says, be safe, everyone. Mike says, take care. Drissy Guitars says, cheers. You guys, thank you. This was a fun one. We just kind of got to rolling around. Like I mentioned earlier, not a specific topic, just fun. Good conversations with good friends. And that's what's awesome about these. And for that, I'm thankful for all of you. And like I mentioned earlier, if you feel the urge to share the videos in any way possible, I would much appreciate it. And yeah, it would help maybe it'll help the algorithms. I don't know. I'm going to keep looking for that hype thing, but for now, I don't know what to say. Robert says, everyone stay safe and healthy. Obi Ken says, see you guys. And Harry Dude says, I got to go too. All finished on site here. Time to drive home. Stay well, everyone. Patrick says, yep, good luck, everyone. Cheers. Don't forget, if you guys want to tune in to more of these every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, do the conversion, figure out whatever time that is, wherever you live. We do this every week. And yeah, I'd love to have you back on. If it's your first time tuning in today, I'd love to have you back next week and in the following weeks. The more, the merrier, right? So you guys, thanks again. Stay safe. Get on your shops, build some projects, have some fun, do some cool stuff. Stay tuned for the Cigar Box Guitar neck carving video this coming weekend. But in order to get that out this weekend, I got to get in to do some editing, which I'm going to go do right now. You guys, thanks again. Stay safe. Get on your shops, build some stuff, have some fun. We'll see you all next week. I feel like I was rambling there and repeated myself, but that's fine. That's fine. Obi Ken says, happy building. Time Servant says, have a great week. Patrick says, good luck, everyone. Cheers. Right on. Thank you all. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks again, everyone. I appreciate you. Now, we're out of here. Where's my button? See, I still lost the button. Thanks, everybody. Take care. I appreciate you. We're out of here. Back to work.